What if Einstein had TikTok? Seriously, have you ever thought about it? Forget dusty black and white photos and complex equations for a second. Imagine the guy who revolutionized our understanding of space and time, the man with the crazy hair and the playful glint in his eye, just scrolling through his For You page. What would he post? I bet his first video would be a total game changer. Maybe a quick 15-second clip. He'd be sitting at his desk, looking slightly bewildered at his phone. Then, he'd scribble =MC on a napkin, hold it up to the camera with a cheeky grin, and set it to some trending, upbeat music. The caption just dropped a little something that explains, well, everything. Hashtag relativity, hashtag science tok, hashtag new physics who dis. It would go viral instantly. Millions of views, duets from physicists, high school students, and probably a few confused cats. And his content wouldn't just be dry science lectures. No way, he'd totally get the TikTok format. Picture this, a get ready with me video. But instead of makeup, he's putting on his iconic worn-out sweater, his hair is already defying gravity, and he's narrating his thought process for the day. Okay, so today we're pondering the curvature of space-time. First, coffee. Lots of coffee. Then, we need to challenge the very foundations of Newtonian physics, a light breakfast, perhaps some toast. And finally, I'll spend a few hours staring blankly at the wall. It's all part of the process, people. Trust the process. He'd be a master of the stitch and duet features. He'd see a video of someone attempting a physics-defying stunt and stitch it with a calm explanation of the laws of motion they just spectacularly broke. Or he'd duet a video of a beautiful sunset, not with some sappy quote, but with a mind-blowing explanation of how light scattering and the Earth's atmosphere create those colors. He would make the universe feel personal, accessible, and incredibly cool. He would definitely jump on all the popular trends. Imagine him doing the of course trend. I'm a theoretical physicist, of course I question the nature of reality before my morning coffee. I'm a theoretical physicist. Of course my favorite thought experiment involves a cat that's both dead and alive. I'm a theoretical physicist, of course people ask me for help with their math homework, please stop. His profile bio would be simple yet profound. Just a curious guy trying to read God's mind. Also, I play the violin. DM for collabs on either, and his comment section would be the most interesting place on the internet. He'd be in there, replying to questions with genuine enthusiasm and witty humor. Someone asks, but what is time? And he'd reply, an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. What's for dinner? He'd be dropping philosophical bombshells in a 280-character comment. And think of the series he could create, a weekly segment called Thought Experiment Thursdays. Each week, he'd propose a new mind-bending puzzle. Okay TikTok, this week's challenge. If you on a train moving at the speed of light and you turn on the headlights, what happens? Discuss in the comments. Wrong answers only for the first hour. The engagement would be off the charts. It would become the biggest intellectual debate club on social media. He'd also use the platform to champion causes he believed in. He was a passionate advocate for peace and civil rights. He'd post videos about the importance of curiosity, of questioning authority, of using science for the good of humanity. He wouldn't just be a science influencer, he'd be a moral compass. He'd talk about the dangers of nationalism and the beauty of a unified world, all in a 60-second video that would resonate more than any long-winded speech. He'd use his massive platform to inspire a new generation to be not just smarter, but kinder. Imagine him going live. It wouldn't be some polished production. It would just be him, in his study, maybe with his violin in his lap. He'd answer questions from the chat, his eyes sparkling with delight, as he explains the general theory of relativity using household objects. You see this apple? This is like a planet. And this tablecloth, this is space-time. See how the apple curves the cloth? That's gravity. It's not a force pulling you down, it's the shape of the universe pushing you down. Simple, right? And for a moment, everyone watching would get it. The universe would click into place. He would have his own line of merch, for sure. T-shirts with gravity is just space-time telling you to chill, or mugs that say my other car is a light beam. And all the proceeds would go to funding science education for underprivileged kids. Of course, there would be haters. The comments section would have its fair share of this is fake or okay, boomer, and Einstein, with his characteristic humor. would probably pin the most ridiculous comment and reply with a simple, "The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits." Boom. Mic drop. But mostly, it would be a place of wonder. A place where science wasn't intimidating, but exciting, where curiosity was celebrated. He would demystify the image of the lone, unapproachable genius. He'd show the world that the greatest mind of the 20th century was also a human being, a funny, compassionate, and endlessly curious person who loved to share his passion with the world. He wouldn't just be teaching physics, he'd be teaching us how to see the world with a sense of awe. He'd post videos of himself playing Mozart on his violin, with captions like "Sometimes the most elegant equations are found in music." He'd share his favorite dad jokes. "Why can't you trust atoms? They make up everything." He'd show us the human side of genius, reminding us that brilliance and playfulness are not mutually exclusive. In a world of fleeting trends and superficial content, Einstein's TikTok would be an anchor of genuine intellectual curiosity. It would be a reminder that the biggest questions are the most fun to ask. He wouldn't just be getting views, he'd be expanding minds, one short video at a time. He would be the ultimate influencer, influencing us to look up at the stars and ask why. So yeah, if Einstein had TikTok, the world would be a smarter, more curious, and probably a much funnier place. He'd break the internet, but more importantly, he'd fix our perspective on the universe. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay curious.